Alright, we're gonna get this started now. As you can see, I have a face cam this time, because why not? Liven it up a little bit. I don't know about you, but I kind of complain about my own streams. Because when I'm playing a video game, I tend to get, like, really silent and just focus in. And that probably bores some people. What's it? Groups. This is gonna be just me and my subscribers. Yo, Caleb Trigg. Alright, so that's uh, oh no, it's gone now. Capture, it's gone. Alright, got everything loaded up now. This is my all-time favorite game. It came out 10 years ago. I think back in August, I think is when it said. It was the 10-year anniversary of Bioshock. I first found out about it around, like, late 2005, early 2006, when it was on the cover of Game Informer. Kind of funny that playing this game because reason why we're starting at 4:30 instead of 4, like I originally planned, is because I had to do some running around. I'm gonna go on easy because even though I love this game to tears, I kind of suck at it. I'm gonna put my headphones on so I can hear what's going on.
They told me. Son, you're special.
Anyway, I had to do some running around, and
great things. You know what?
we ended up talking about water and just how amazing it is. Anyway, the amazing thing about this game is that it's all about the illusion of choice, and you get to see that pretty early on. Bioshock. By the way, that opening monologue thing, that's the only time the main character talks, and this is a really clever use. Anyway, this is a really clever use of the silent protagonist format. Caleb Trick said, I've never played this game, like ever. It seems really cool though. It is really cool. This is my first time playing on PC, so... just like mouse and keyboard. I've only played this game on PS3 up until this point, so probably gonna suck more at it now than I have in the past. The gods are king's only man. There's our the main figure of this game, Andrew Ryan. Love the period-specific music it has. This is Bobby Darin somewhere beyond the sea. Ten fathoms. I love these games' use of advertisements.
I am Andrew
This
Ryan,
world building.
and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow?
Another fun fact: I took a theater class my sophomore year in college, and I actually used this as my 30-second monologue.
No, says the man in Moscow.
Andrew Ryan is a send-up of Ayn Rand's
I reject
objectivism worldview.
Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
It's a Big Daddy. They used the character model of one of the Big Daddies for that welder. He's not even holding the tool. It's a whale. It's Fleet Hall. It's Fort Frolic, my favorite level in this game. A lot of people's favorite level in this game. All good things of this earth flow into the city. Transit Authority. Yeah, advertisements for all the plasmids, the superpowers in this game. This game is a spiritual successor to the System Shock games, which I'm not sure when the first System Shock came out, but it was by Looking Glass Studios, I believe. It was kind of the part of the big three PC games of that era, along with the first Deus Ex and the first Thief. Then System Shock 2 came out and was, like, better. I haven't played the first System Shock, but I played System Shock 2 a little bit, and it's pretty much the exact same game as Bioshock, but the key difference is that System Shock is very much an RPG, whereas this is very much a first-person shooter with light RPG elements. The System Shock's first-person shooting is, like, very minimalistic. The real gameplay comes with customization and figuring things out and rigging things up. splicer.
Is it someone new?
Would you kindly?
I don't know how you survived that plane crash, but I've never been one to...
Oh, sure you don't.
I'm Atlas, and I aim to
Sorry.
keep you alive.
I don't want to spoil
Now keep on moving.
the surprises in this game,
You to higher ground.
which there are many. This game's deep.
Take a deep breath and step out of the bathroom.
Yeah, this is a really deep game, pun completely intended.
We're gonna need to draw out a hiding, but you're gonna have to trust me.
You know, this game was very much Ken Levine, the writer and director of System Shock 2, being like, this is what System Shock 2 would be if I were to create it from the ground up instead of piggybacking off of the first System Shock.
Just a bit more. How do you like that, sister? Now, would you kindly find a crowbar or something? Bloody splicer, seal Johnny in before they... Goddamn splicers.
Here we go with the melee combat.
My daddy's smarter than Einstein, stronger than Hercules, and like a fire with a snap of his finger. Are you as good as my daddy, mister? Not if you don't visit the Gatherer's Garden, you aren't. Smart daddy
Didrik said, I think it really relies on atmosphere for a game like this. I like it because it always gives the somewhat uneasy feeling, the underwater dystopia. Yes, and that's something that Ken Levine and really all the people at Looking Glass Studios excelled at. Like, even if you haven't played it, if you just watch gameplay from like Thief the Dark Project or any of the Thief games before the newest one. Or either the System Shock, even Bioshock Infinite, which was way more like gonzo, extreme swashbuckling action. There's a lot of atmosphere, a lot of uneasy atmosphere with it.
Just hold on and everything will be fine.
This little
I love this cutscene.
just had his cherry popped. Wonder if he's still got some.
It's so dirty.
Let's buck weak. You're a weak shopper. This little fish ain't worth towing it with no big daddy. Yellow always have been. You'll be no better off with metal daddy, little fish.
This is one aspect where this game surpasses Bioshock Infinite, and that's in this you really get a feeling for how this world functioned and how it functions now, and you see like the contrast with it. Whereas Bioshock Infinite, you're kind of left wondering, why are all these people even here?
It's an angel.
I don't know, maybe Andrew Ryan's objectivist complex
From his belly.
is way more appealing than Comstock's
He's still breathing. It's alright.
Confederate views. Big Daddy and Little Sister.
You all right, boyo? First time plasma's a real kick from a mule, but there's nothing like a fistful of lightning now, is there?
Another thing is that this game does a way better job at making you feel trapped than Infinite did. I love Bioshock Infinite. I don't want it. It's just not as good as this game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being not quite as good as Bioshock. But crap.
I didn't. Tell Ryan I'm sorry.
That's what the right mouse button does.
I didn't mean to hurt anyone.
I whiffed on that first swing.
I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in
Dependence, creativity.
maybe, just maybe.
So the goal now is to get to Neptune's bounty. I think that's supposed to be... I think that's supposed to just be a splicer, but I always thought that maybe it was Atlas. There's Atlas stuck here.
Mom's gone. And Daddy too.
Plasmids changed everything. They destroyed our bodies, our minds. We couldn't handle it. Best friends butchering one another. Babies strangled in cribs. The whole city went to hell.
Yep.
I'll do what I want. It's my Adam. I earned it.
You want this ugly? Or do you want this nice? I can do it.
To splice them.
Open the damn door!
Nobody's gonna want me.
Ghosts. Which are another thing from System Shock.
Last time.
Hey, Brenda, you care to tell me why you've had a whole size Plymouth Rock coming out of your crapper going on 3 weeks now? Nah, I ain't saying I'm Shakespeare, trying to run a respectable theater. I got working folk coming in from Port Neptune trying to catch a little diversion. And all I can think about is the stink coming out of your shitter. Get it fixed.
Charlie! Charlie!
And this is another thing I absolutely love about this game. Every room feels like it had a purpose within the world of Rapture, and little things like this dead body clutching a cash register just adds a lot to the character of Rapture itself.
You spot a splicer in the water. Hit him with the electrobolt.
Darling, if this is love, why do I
Another New Year's, another night alone. I'm out and you're stuck in Festus, working. Imagine my surprise.
And I also love how the story is told through these audio diaries. Like, no real cutscenes.
Diane Nicole, silliest girl in Rapture. Silly enough to fall in love with Andrew Ryan.
Diane McClintock, very important within the world of Rapture.
a child down there. Don't be fooled. She's a little sister now. Somebody went and turned a sweet baby girl into a monster. Whatever you thought about right and wrong on the surface,
I love this part too.
don't count for much down in Rapture. Those little sisters, they carry adults.
That's so creepy.
Genetic material that keeps the wheels of Rapture.
Little girls are creepy in general.
Everybody needs it.
Little girls with glowing eyes that rain nondescript sci-fi magic out of dead bodies. Even creepier. Ugh, right in the stomach.
That's the big daddy. She gathers at him. He keeps her safe.
Something. One thing I don't like about this game is the lack of an inventory system. Like in really any RPG, where you can like store your health and your stealth and energy items, but here you pick it up, you just gobble it up. Kid Trick said it's a horror game without being labeled as one. Many games today overly rely on jump scares. Many things in general overly rely on jump scares because jump scares are cheap and easy to do. And it's always been that way since beginning of time, beginning of visual art. Find out when I need to. Oh. I'm drunk.
Security alert in progress.
Yep. And so the first inconvenience happens. Andrew Ryan shut off your pathway to Neptune's bounty, so now you have to go through medical.
Oh, Christ! You're trapped! Gonna try to override the exit from here.
You're always trapped. You're always trapped because where are you gonna go? Whereas with Bioshock Infinite, you would think all it would take to escape Columbia is find a parachute.
Sunken ship for you to plunder. And Andrew Ryan isn't a giddy socialite who can be slapped around by government muscle. And with that, farewell, or Buzz Lavagna.
Yeah, kind of playing up the Cold War stuff. Because it's 1960. Well, I could take them. I could totally take them. But that's not what you're supposed to do. Now for every level in this game is messed up to some extent, but this is probably the goriest. The medical pavilion. And like I said, like every single freaking room and area in this game had a purpose.
Ryan, the bloody king of Rapture. Now find your way to emergency access.
Welcome to the circus of value. Come back when you get some money, buddy. Feel your cravings at the circus of value.
I could already tell that there we go. The hacking's gonna be a lot harder in this than it is in the console version. Killer Trick said, I love how old steampunk Art Deco designs. It's a stunning sight, mostly because I'm a huge fan of steampunk. Yeah, I was never that big into steampunk, but there's some things where I'm like, you know what, maybe I'm more of a fan of steampunk than I thought.
Dr. Steinman said he released me today. Ryan didn't come to see me since the New Year's attack, not once. But Dr. Steinman was very attentive. He told me that once the scar tissue was gone, he was gonna fix me right up, make me prettier than any girl I've ever seen. He's sweet, all right. And so interested in my case.
Yeah, sure. Dr. Steinman's one of the biggest nuts in this game. Check down here first. Have everything I can get.
Ryan and Adam. Adam and Ryan. All those years of study, and was I ever truly a surgeon before I met
It's
them?
done.
How we plinked away with our scalpels and toy morality. Yes, we could lop a boil here and shave down a beak there, but could it really change anything? No. But Adam gives us the means to do it. And Ryan frees us from the phony ethics that held us back.
I'm just taking the audio logs in.
Change your race. It's yours to change.
Surgery's Picasso. There's an audio diary with him called Surgery's Picasso that just tells a lot about him and what his freaking entire outlook is.
Dr. Steinman's king. He's the one that runs this place. I know this makes the hand again of milk and humankind. Steinman ain't that kind. Frankly, not even sure he's still human. Now you've rattled the monkey cage. Here they come.
Yeah. GMaQ asks, how does this compare to Bioshock Infinite and 2 in your opinion? I've already hinted at some things where this excels more than Bioshock Infinite. There's no shortage of videos on the subject. The story is a lot deeper. The world is just way more memorable. More so than Infinite. Everything in this game feels like it served a purpose. Not just gameplay-wise, but within the world of the city it's set in. The characters are way more memorable.
Adam presents problems for the profession. As yours.
Remember, all them machines will short out right and prompt if you hit them with electrical.
As for Bioshock 2, I actually, even though this is my all-time favorite game, I have not actually touched Bioshock 2. I heard it was a big disappointment, and the main reason why I haven't played it, and one day I will, I'm going to buy it pretty soon, and play it and probably stream it. Ken Levine was not involved at all with Bioshock 2, and he's the one who made Bioshock the way it is. Like, just big design ethos with him. Like, more recently, he was on a panel with a bunch of other game devs, talking about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and he kind of got to articulate his viewpoints on game design. And one of the things was, like, everything has to at least seem like it had a purpose, and, this is Tenenbaum, another major player in Rapture's rise and fall.
I tell him of this error, and this make him angry. But then he asks, how can a child do such a thing? I tell him sometimes I just know. He screams at me, then why tell me? Well, I said, if you are going to do such things, at least you should do them properly.
On the surface, the parents
But anyway, like,
the doctor to heal them for free, the farmer to feed them out of charity.
I just love these audio diaries.
Who
Sorry.
prowls the streets looking for a victim he can ravish for his grotesque.
But pretty much, a video game is not a movie, is what it kind of boils down to. A video game only works because it's you, the player, doing these things. And so anytime it's not you, the player, doing these things, it's not as good. And try it just once.
The foundation upon which our society has been established. Parasites will be punished.
go. Caleb Trigg said, "What's your favorite book?" That's a tough one. I'd probably have to go with The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh no, just something about Sherlock Holmes books. Really just appeals to me. Let's... I don't use a lot of the special ammo on this. Like, sometimes I use armor piercing stuff against, I'll use, like, armor piercing against Big Daddies, but that's about it.
How dare you touch me?
I don't even like using up my ammunition half the time. Rather leave it all up to my wrench. Oh. That's Sir Joyce Picasso.
Painting people, he started representing them as cubes and other abstract forms. The world called him a genius. I've spent my entire surgical career creating the same tired shapes over and over again. The upturned nose, the cleft chin.
Security cameras. I can hear the infernal things all around you. Ryan's eyes and ears.
I'm gonna bother with that. DeAndre Kid asks, "Hello, what did I miss?" The beginning parts and me just pretty much drooling over this game. Ah, crap. I meant to only shock him once. Make sure there's nothing else of use before I go in there and get my firepower.
Parasite!
Light up foes to 1,000 degrees.
Wonderful fall. We rebuild our city at the thousands and the fire. Spoil our home. 1,000 atoms to the man or woman who tins its wing.
All roads in Rapture lead to Ryan.
Yep.
Security, the splicers, the big daddies, the little sisters. He pumps
It's all him.
chemical scent in the air.
Pheromones.
Makes them all dance to his tune.
I think that's it for this little area. There you go over here. DeAndre Kid asked, "Are you into martial arts?" Not really. I like watching. I like watching people who know martial arts. But yeah, I was never into like martial arts myself. I tried Aikido a little bit when I was in like middle school, but that's about it. Yeah, so worst movie adaptation in your opinion, of course, be it video game, book, etc. Worst adaptation? It'd probably have to be Avatar. It'd probably have to be The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. And I don't think I need to defend my choice there. Oh, 451. By the way, that is that's a classic Looking Glass thing. 0451 is used as a save combination in every single Looking Glass game, pretty early on, and it's a reference to Fahrenheit 451. Used to be like really good at the hacking in this game, but that was on PlayStation 3. Much more sluggish on PC. Safe's gonna be a little harder. Crap, I hate these ones. Crap. Okay. DeAndre Kid asks, have high power stock in yourself ever thought about having a B team of podcasters? We have reserves, but it's my channel and I'm the one who records them and stuff, so I kind of have to be involved because I do all the like legwork to get them up. But if you join the Discord, you actually have opportunity. We actually like have some opportunities for some podcasts coming up. The actual Ruby podcasts are kind of set in stone. We have a set list of people that are going to be on all of those. But we're going to start doing like Beyond podcasts. Like we have one on Avatar coming up, and we have one on Batman coming up in the next couple weeks. Whenever Dude What the Heck gets caught up on those shows. And those ones, if you're part of the Discord, you can maybe even have an opportunity to get in on them. Or 5-1. Before we get any further, because I have to go through this room anyway later to get telekinesis. Oh. Drunk again. G-Man Q asked, what do you think of the Mass Effect games? I think they're very overrated. Like, you can tell a lot about a game by what is shown every time someone talks about it. Like in a video or something. And with Mass Effect, it's always the dialogue wheel, which is just very redundant, very, like, limited. Like, three sentences cannot be summed up in a word. Something like Deus Ex has a way way better dialogue wheel.
Simon, I know men of rebellion is your master, but you might want to cogitate on this. Ocean water is colder than a witch's tip. You don't heat the pipes freeze. Pipes freeze, pipes burst. Then
Right.
ratchet leaks. Now, I realise you're a posh sort of geezer, and frankly, I don't give a toss if you piss or go fishing. But once Rapture starts leaking, the old girl's never gonna stop. And then I'll be sure to tell Ryan he's got you to thank.
I accidentally used a health pack there. DeAndre Kid asked. I'm gonna finish my thoughts on Mass Effect first. And then the only other thing that they talk about is the 16s, which are so just awkward and weird. And just do nothing. And the entire thing just ended up amounting to nothing. It was just a waste of everyone's time. There's much better games out there that you should be that deserve way more attention than Mass Effect gets. One of them being Deus Ex. Deus Ex: Human Revolution and Mankind Divided.
Clinical trial Letter 44, Dr. Suchong, client Fontaine Futuristics. Subject age white male, one Roland Wallace. Can you hear me, Mr. Wallace?
Yes, sir, Mr. Suchong.
Very well. Right, I'm introducing Lot 44 now. We've codenamed the Lot 44 Enrage because of its tendency to...
Alright, so my thoughts on Murderer Birds. I don't think he deserves more than a dime of your money. It's just reaction videos, which in and of themselves are just the laziest form of video you can do. And yeah, I know he does other stuff, but that other stuff isn't all that interesting either. He's not an interesting personality on his own. This is just my personal opinion. I don't think he's an interesting enough personality on his own to warrant watching his streams. And he'll talk about an episode of Ruby for an hour and a half, and it's just a bunch of nothing. It's just a bunch of restating what we already saw. There's no, like... He's not good enough at conjecture to, like, really pull it off. This part's freaking nuts. God, I hate this part.
Respect me.
From my patient!
Uncultivated. That's all your kind can do.
Kendrick says, since we know you like Star Wars, what story would you like to put to screen? I would like either take up of Seven Samurai, but with Jedi, or because we know that one of George Lucas's biggest inspirations in filmmaking was Akira Kurosawa, and he puts references to Akira Kurosawa in all his movies, so it fits for it fits to have kind of a Akira Kurosawa inspired, like straight up Akira Kurosawa inspired Star Wars film. I would like to see the origins of the Jedi though. I would like it kind of set in the context of this is the origin story of the Jedi. And I'm kind of going all kinds of out of order, but I'm just doing what comes naturally in this game for me.
Genetic modifications, beauty is no longer a goal or even a virtue. It is a moral obligation.
GMAQS said, played through Human Revolution. I like the story, but hated the game mechanics. Human Revolution, Deus Ex is not an action game. It is an RPG. It's kind of a stealth game. It's useless to try to take down that guy until you get telekinesis. Which I have sequence broke this game before to... Aesthetics are immoral.
If you get your hands on one of them telekinesis plasmids, you can catch the damn firebombs and toss it right back in his gob.
Yep.
Or anything else that might be standing in your way.
Now I have to find telekinesis.
The finest. Hardly.
God, it feels so good to fire a gun with weight. Granted, I just played through Bioshock Infinite again recently, and that game's pretty good too. Like, I don't want my love of this game to take away from how great that game is too.
Yes? Don't you disrespect!
But seriously, how many shooters are out there where the guns just handle like a freaking airsoft gun? That means... Go down. I know there's still stuff down here that I need to get. Yeah, I can't. That's right. I can't get through this. I can't get to this room until I have telekinesis. Oh. I can't get in there until I get telekinesis, which I think I find here. I think this is where you get it. Yep. I think I was right. It's been a while since I played this. Let's see. Plug it. Not just throws tennis balls at me.
Clinical trial lot 23, Dr. Suchong, client Fontaine Futuristics.
DeAndre Kid, Kid Trig said, for Star Wars, I always wanted to see a story about the clones. We got an entire series about that. I even said mostly because I watched the Clone series. DeAndre Kid said, did you watch the season of Red vs. Blue? Yes. I thought it was a big step up.
Throw objects at foes. You can even catch grenades and throw them back.
Oh well. I'll find out later. Yeah, I thought this season of Red vs. Blue was a big step up from previous seasons. Someone's trying to get my attention. I think there's... I'm gonna switch to my pistol.
At the German prison camp, they put me to work on genetic experiments on other prisoners. They call me das Wunderkind, the Wonder Child. Germans. All they can talk about is blue eyes and the shape of forehead. All I care about is why is this one born strong and that one weak? This one smart, that one stupid. All that killing. You think the Germans could have been interested in something useful?
That's a hat. But yeah, this season of Red vs. Blue is a big step up from the last couple seasons. In fact, I think it was the best season since season 8. But Red vs. Blue still needs to just die. Like, they need to just end it. They need to not make a season 16.
Sometimes I pity the little freak. Such a tiny imagination. Content to sit there with the tanks of Adam tweaking and optimizing. I need to create. Adam is a canvas of a genetic modification, but the plasmids are the paint.
Darling, is that you?
Yep, it's me. Your thoughts on Eruption Fang? I like him, I think. If it's who I'm thinking of, then yes, he's pretty good at what he does. You make you ask, craziest Ruby theory you heard? Anything involving people being Summer Rose. Like, people secretly being Summer Rose. Like... I get shot off on this guy. Like I said, I kind of suck at this game. There we go. Yeah, like long time ago, there were theories that like Cinder was Summer Rose. There's even like fan art of it out there that I've seen. Alright, Caleb Trick said, I'd say the craziest Ruby theory I've heard was Ruby and Yang being fondest. That's not a theory. That's just a weird fan fiction thing that needs to die alongside gender and race bins. And everywhere on this floor. DeAndre Kid asks, is there any characters in Naruto do you feel we should have known more about? I think we should have learned more about Hashirama because he's lacking in feats. Dude, Hashirama's the freaking man. He's fine. I would say the entire Hyuga clan and like their role within the village got kind of brushed under the rug in favor of the Uchiha. Sadly. Oh. That place. I get him? Looks like I might have. I want to see what the heck that is. That little corner there. You make you ask least favorite Naruto character. That's a tough one because there's a lot of like no hard, no foul stuff going on in Naruto. Like the least developed characters are the ones that needed the least development. I would say Obito though. I know that's like an easy answer, but it's true. Obito really outstayed his welcome for a long time. Did not need to shoot her twice. Okay, this place I haven't been yet. I haven't been back here yet. Oh god, yeah, this part. Just for a little bit of supplies, but once again, everything in this game had a purpose. Caleb Trigg said, it's a correct theory. Some evidence was how Ruby's early design had a wolf tail. In early episodes, she acted like a puppy. Not on board with it, but it's funny to think about. I don't think so. I don't remember there ever being any early designs like that. I know the Malachite twins have the original dresses that were supposed to be for Ruby and Weiss. Oh. This is not in... Yeah, that's not in, the console version. That's gonna be useful. Probably how I'm gonna have to switch my ammunition types. Your Big Daddy, he's probably over there.
Approaching a little sister is a criminal offense. Do not approach the little sister.
Sometimes
This one's messed up. I remember this one.
Lunch with the goddess. Steinman, she said. I'm here
There's Steinman.
Goddess, symmetry. Dear Steinman, it's time we did something about symmetry.
Like how, unlike Deus Ex, everything like just freezes while you do your hacking. Makes it so much easier. In the next little part of the level. Get my armor piercing out. Take this thing out in one shot. I'm fired and I missed.
Aphrodite is walking the halls, shimmering like a scalpel. Steinman, she calls. Steinman, I have what you're looking for. Just open your eyes, and when I see her, she cuts me into 1,000 beautiful pieces.
Ah, crap. Crap baskets. Go. Salvaged it. It retracted the message. Is there a typo or something in it? It's the same spot. Okay, hold on.
What can I do with this one, Aphrodite? It won't stay still! I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out wrong! That was too fat! This one...
He'll try to ask, what do you think of fan films? I think they're fine when done right.
Symmetrical. And now... What's this guy?
Too many times they kind of toe that same line as fan fiction.
Ugly! Ugly! Ugly!
I can't switch my plasmids from here. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get them into the water.
You alright? It was time somebody took care of that sick bastard. Make sure you get the key off Steinman and head back to emergency exit. I'm working my way to the backside of Port Neptune myself. We'll get there soon enough.
I feel like they wanted this to be a much bigger boss battle than it ended up being.
The nose looks terrific, Dr. Steinman. Doctor?
You know, looking at it now, I didn't realize how much it...
Okay, Q. Q changes that.
Excuse me?
Scalpel.
Doctor, she's not booked for a facelift.
Let's just come in here and...
Doctor, stop cutting. Doctor, stop cutting. Get me the chief of surgery. Get me the chief of surgery now!
Psych Discharge is my favorite tonic. It's really good at warning me when people are behind me. Killer Tree said, I like a lot of Star Wars fan films for the most part. They're done pretty well. Well, one of the reasons for that is actually, lesser known fact about George Lucas. He loves when fans, like, do send-ups of his stuff. And you can actually get any Star Wars sound. There's a sound library. I can't remember where it's at. But you can use any Star Wars sounds you want for free, pretty much.
And me, and all the tasty Adam I can drink.
Here comes the only time in this entire, the only aspect of this game that ever gives you a choice. Like a real choice. Look at my phone right now.
Bitte do not hurt her. Have you no heart?
I heard pretty sermon coming from the ghoul who cooked up them creatures in the first place. Took fine little girls and turned them into that, didn't you? Listen to me, Bio. You won't survive without the add of those things are carrying. Are you prepared to trade your life, the lives of my wife and child, for Tenenbaum's little Frankenstein?
Here! There is another way. Use this. From their torment. I will make it to be worth your while. Somehow.
What am I gonna do? Am I gonna murder this little child or am I gonna save it? You know what? Since it's on easy. I'm gonna be a good guy. You don't really lose out on that much Adam overall.
Thank you, mister. Thank you.
The path of the righteous is not always easy, yes. The reward will become clear in time. Be patient.
Tenenbaum's playing you for a sap. Those things may look like wee little girls, but looks don't make it so. You need all the Adam you can get to survive. If you cross paths with another of them gatherers, guards, machines, make sure you pick up a new plant or two. That's if the price ain't too dear, of course.
Not only are those little girls veritable Adam factories, they're nearly indestructible. They regenerate any wounded flesh with stem versions of the dead cells. But their relationship with the planet slugs is symbiotic. If you harvest the slug, the host will die. So you see, it's not like killing, Tenenbaum said. It's more like removing a terminal patient from life support.
Andrew Ryan asks you a simple question. Are you a man?
Hold on, I need to get my... I was only able to brute force it because of the low difficulty it's on. Team AQS and morality choice games are usually that bad or good guy. Usually the good guy. I tend to get really attached to, like, the good characters. Kind of weird because then, like, it kind of depends on the game, because there's some games where I just really love being the tyrant.
Are you almost back to emergency access? Come through as soon as you get there. You got Ryan's eye now. You won't hear them coming.
Ah, crap.
They'll be there before you know it.
Security alert deactivated. Thank you for your patience.
I don't know how you managed it, but you did. Come through to Port Neptune now. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand.
Well, that's long. I'm gonna check this stream. Yeah, how long am I going? I'm going for about an hour and 20 minutes. Neptune's Bounty, which was the docks.
Pleasure of Andrew Ryan's company. He's the one who built this place, and he's the one who ran it into the ground. Nobody knows exactly what happened. Maybe he went mad. Maybe the power got to him. Maybe he just decided he didn't like people. Whichever way you slice it, good men died. My family's in a submarine hidden in the foundation of Fontaine Fisheries. I'll meet you there.
Really need to get more plasmid slots. I need all three of these. All three of them.
What crawls in my garden? What days go by like wind?
Right, Trix, you like the Shadow? I think I remember owning a comic where he teamed up with the Green Hornet and with other pulp heroes, so what do you think of Green Hornet? I'm not that familiar with Green Hornet, and I only became more intimately familiar with the Shadow, fairly recently. Yeah, I used to think that the shadow, like growing up and stuff, I was aware of the shadow through the radio plays. Like, a couple people in my family really liked those old radio dramas. I didn't realize there was more to them until Razor Fist turned me on to more of his stuff. More stuff with him. The fish get there.
Are you here to hurt?
This is where the low level brightness is gonna get me killed. I'll get that. I can't really see where I'm going right now. This thing out first. Caleb Trigg asked, what do you think of Stephen King? My mom's a huge fan. Never read a lot of his stuff myself, though. And it's kind of funny the lack of self-awareness he has. DeAndre Kid asked, do you watch WWF wrestling? I did up until I was like 10. Every once in a while I'll hear something about it, like, oh, that's interesting. That's a neat little take on the whole shebang, but I don't know, just something about it doesn't do it for me anymore. Plasmid slot, yes. Telekinesis. Let's go with... Let's go with... Machine Buster. Another tonic slot I can open up. I'm gonna open up another plasmid slot, but no, I never used the size Big Daddy. I do use Sonic Boom a lot though.
Knock foes back with hurricane force. Laugh as they bounce off the walls.
BCS, would you say Prey 2017 was inspired by System Shock? Absolutely. It was like kind of shameless with it. It was a shameless, like, almost rip-off of System Shock. At least System Shock 2. It was like a more slimmed-down version of Bioshock, really. That's all it was. That camera. Keep hearing a camera sound. There's stuff down there. Hold on. I'll get down there. I think I can only grab it with telekinesis. And I don't need it, so I'm not gonna waste it. GMAQS, hottest Ruby girl. God, it kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I love Weiss and I love Cinder. Yang's up there as well. Yeah. So hottest Ruby girl, I'm gonna go with overall. I'm gonna go with Cinder. Worst YouTuber type, Caleb Trigas. Worst type? Reaction videos would be up there. I would say beauty vlogs, just because it just does nothing for me. DeAndre says Raven hands down. Raven's attractive. So Trias, what's the coolest piece of Ruby fan art you've come across? Probably that picture of, by Dishwasher. Of Ruby and Summer. Summer's like, I'm sorry. Like that. That's probably the best piece of Ruby fan art I've seen.
You'll find something to keep you alive. Now, Look at that camera, and then snapshots of toes that crawl from the ceiling.
Got the grenade launcher.
Let you into the fisheries. Just remember, sonny friend, I smell an ounce of Fontaine on you, and I'll have you in a box. Atlas gives you the vouch, but I ain't turning my eye just on his say-so.
So I think that was the first.
Fontaine's dead, and everybody knows it. In the ground for months, and half the place still jumping at his shadow. Christ, even Ryan. You never mind all that. We got work to do.
And never mind all that.
Like old Peach knows where to find a research camera. He seems a decent enough sort. No doubt he'll wait until after you've done his errands to stick a shiv in your belly.
I just know I'm gonna get caught in that camera. It's not gonna be fun. See if I can set something up here.
You saved me.
Now the eggs are in the scrap. We picked up Timmy Yates right after midnight. Either Ryan will be taking down Fontaine, or Fontaine will be taking down Ryan. It'll be, interview for Timmy, Fontaine Fisheries. If you're up for entertainment, the code's 5380.
I wasn't paying attention to that audio log. I'm pretty sure he was just betting on who's gonna win between a throwdown and a throwdown between Ryan and Fontaine. So I kind of want to catch. Can't reach it to hack it.
This Fontaine fellow
is somebody to watch. Once he was just a menace, to be convicted and hung. But he always manages to be where the evidence isn't. He's the most dangerous type of hoodlum. The kind with vision.
Yeah, this is where you start, like, really hearing about Fontaine and what kind of man he was. Just to say, a very dangerous man. Kill Trigger, I'd say that one by Dishwasher with the badass cyborg, John. Nah, that's just... Sorry, AU stuff doesn't really do it for me. It's like, oh, it's just John as a cyborg. There's nothing, like, deeper about it beyond that.
The research camera looks just like one you'd see topside. According to this magazine article I scrounged up, you can also analyze genetic information, parse biological structures, lots of other $5 words.
Gotta get there. G-Man Q asks, where do you think Batman Falling and Celtic Productions fails and succeeds at? The biggest failure is just how long it takes them to do a freaking video. Batman is a brilliant editor. Just the way he puts his videos together and the way he uses all the tools that are at his disposal with the software that he uses. It's quite admirable. But I think they kind of... I think Batman more so than Celtic Phoenix. Celtic Phoenix, I think, kind of gets it, but RWBY's not a plot-centric show. You can't hold it to kind of that... Can't hold it to like the same standard as Birdman. It's got a very different focus. It's a shonen series. Filter said true. What about that one with the Nuclavi killing Ren and Nora? It's... meh. Meh. Maybe I just have... Maybe I'm just too, like, hypercritical of a lot of stuff. Not like just a sour puss or whatever. A lot of people complain about this part of the game, the hacking. I love it, but I really love pipe works and stuff like that. I love puzzle games like that. I'm just gonna shoot that one. Some dissent with the police. Police Chief McDonough, or whatever his name is. I think that's his name, McDonough. Like, anything over here? Yeah, it's just a little hidey hole, some stuff.
Jesus loves me, this
God.
I know, for the
Research camera.
Now get me some snaps on those spider splicers, and don't come back down here till you've got my research.
Long, they are weak, but he is strong. I'm just lonely. I'm lonely.
Splicers.
You think you know me?
And this is one I don't use a whole lot, but Caleb Trigg asked, what's the most important part of writing an OC? Most important part. You gotta have a reason. They gotta have a reason to exist. That's why I don't like a whole lot of the self-insert stuff, because it's like, oh, it's just this such and such character within the actual plot. Like, give them their own, give them their own like legs to stand on. Give them a reason to do what they do.
This little sea slug has come along and glued together all the crazy ideas I've had since the war. It doesn't just heal damaged cells, it resurrects them.
Forgot about that.
In the double helix, black can be reborn white, tall, short, weak, strong. But the slugs alone are not enough. I'll need money. And one other thing.
If things weren't bad enough, it seems that even our water system's sprung a leak. Yep, that's right. The irrigation system in Arcadia is taking on seawater. I told Mr. Ryan when we were building this place, either you build her like a bathtub, or she's gonna turn into a sewer. No, McDonough, he said. We're not gonna build no bathtub. We're gonna build Eden.
There's a mention of Arcadia Glens, which is the greenhouse of Rapture. Giltrix says so, totally not a Mary Sue. Watch Trope Talk's video on the subject. Mary Sue isn't so much a character type as it is a plot device. Make your plot kind of get propelled and be driven by the characters and not the other way around. Oh. Wrong gun. Not that it matters. There we go. I just want to level it up so I can get Scrounger, the best. Let me... Kind of overdid it. Clicked too many times. So... Gonna go through here.
The thought of me wife and child hiding in that filthy submarine makes me blood boil. Help me get them to safety and I'll be in your debt for life.
I met Ryan the day me and the lads were installing the bathroom plumbing up in his Posh Park Avenue digs. Oi, says he, what's with all the brass fittings? General contractor had me down for the tip. Well, I says, I suppose it's the contractor then who'll be bailing out your loo once a fortnight, is it? If it's price you're worried about, I'll be picking up the brass, so not to worry, Squire. And why would you be doing that, says he? Well, Mr. Ryan, profit or not, no man bells water out of previous spill by Bill McDonough. Next day I find out I'm Ryan's new general contractor.
Sullivan was the police chief. McDonough's the engineer. Which, fun little tidbit about the engineering and stuff in this game. Game Theory actually did a video on Bioshock and kind of proved that Rapture not only is possible, but was possible as early as the 1950s, which is when this game supposedly takes place. Well, 1960s, but Rapture would have been built in the late 40s, early 50s.
Rapture's changing, but Ryan can't see the wolves in the woods. This Fontaine fella, he's a crook and a proper tea leaf, but he's got the Adam, and that makes him the governor. He's sinking the profits back into bigger and better plasmids, building them Fontaine poorhouses, Fontaine recruiting centres. Before we know it, bloke's gonna have an army of splicers. We're gonna have ourselves a whole heap of miseries.
Try again. Go for some better luck. That's more like it. That's more what I needed. just need this piece.
Stop this! This isn't what you think it is!
Right in the sack.
Hold it!
Diane, my dear, I'm sorry, but I'll be late again tonight. Rosenberg is demanding.
About Diane McClintock.
I'm trying to
Get a
build
picture of him.
financial market, and this idiot keeps going on about Adam this genetic modification.
GManQS, worst Ruby fanfic or OC you saw? I don't read a lot of fanfic. So it's kind of hard for me to say because I've seen some bad OCs on the Ruby OC page. Sightseeing because this game's rad.
This is the wages of sin! You shall... Who's there? You think...
Oh god, this is the saddest. This is... Oh, no, it's not. No, it's somewhere around here. The Marsha.
Mr. Ryan, I believe in Rapture, but that doesn't mean we always win. Fontaine Futuristics is the biggest thing going in Rapture, so let me be plain.
Full-bodied, unmodified citizens of Rapture notice to report.
We must make it clear that we won't touch his business interests. We sit on the council because these poor sods trust us, not because God gave us a chair.
Okay, this is the Marsha one.
We saw our Masha today. We barely recognize her. That's her, Sam said. You're crazy, I tell him. That thing? Yes, that is our Masha. But he was right. She was drawing blood out of the corpse by Fontaine Fisheries. And then when she was done, she walked off hand in hand with one of those awful golems. Masha!
Mr. Ryan, I believe in Rapture, and that doesn't mean we always win. Fontaine Futuristics is the biggest thing going in Rapture, so let me be plain. When we arrest that Torag Fontaine for his thieving and smuggling, we must make it clear that we won't touch his business interests. We sit on the council because these poor sods trust us, not because God gave us a chair.
Dead? He's not dead. It's as good a spot as any, I suppose.
Go through here first and get this picture. Scrounger. Be able to search everything twice. Just gonna try this one out.
Here to visit the scum of the earth. Play.
Go. Caleb Trigg asks, what's the hardest type of character you've written for? Nora is always hard for me. I've gotten the hang of it, but for a long time the comedic type characters were really difficult. What is it about Amazing Grace that just causes all sorts of creepy renditions?
We tricked you. Monster. Stop dragging this out and fight me, you bastard! Why are you...
Sounds like that should have been it. Head on back to Fontaine's Fisheries when you're ready, would you kindly?
We all move the great chain, and the great chain moves us all.
Me wife, Moira, she's a right pain in the neck. But she's a beauty. She means the world to me. I can't help feel God's punishing me for bringing her and Patrick to this place. I thought this would be a better life for us. Can you imagine a bigger fool than that?
Caleb Trigg asks, how do you go about character development for Ruby on Generations? gotta begin with the end in mind. And there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I didn't do as well because I was trying to space it out all right. And because of that, a lot of it ended up getting rushed, and a lot of it ended up not even happening.
One of the smugglers having a game of catching on the docks today. And this surprised me because his hands were crippled during the war. He was unloading the barge the other day when he was bitten from the sea slug. He woke up the next morning and he found he could move his fingers for the first time in years. I asked him if he still had that sea slug. A slug would have it. He did.
But for instance, I could almost go character for character. Citrine, I wanted her to have a lot of the same qualities as Ruby and Jean, but be very different. And so I kind of gave her a bit of a revenge streak there towards the end, where she'd like lose her cool and just kind of go a little nuts. I feel like I didn't do that enough though. Like, I wanted to build parallels between her and Levi, and I feel like I didn't do that as well as I could have, as it was all coming down right towards the end.
Something must be done about Fontana.
Nova's like the easiest character to write for.
Cornering the market on genotypes and nucleotide sequences. Rapture is transforming before my eyes.
It's just, because Nova's just perpetually angry at everything.
Perhaps it's time to give it a try.
Didn't even know what hit him. Nephrite, I basically just wanted her to be like Ren, but be more like Volume 4 Ren, whereas the Ren I wrote in Ruby on Veil was, he didn't go through an arc, he didn't change a whole lot.
This orphanage, in troubled times, give your little girl the life that she
I think I was already over. Here's another tonic.
Research them up right. Come on in and show us those snappies.
I see, because I need more tonic slots, so I got a lot of really good tonics. They're just sitting in the bank. But where are some other major characters? Ice was pretty easy to write for. I always had a hard time figuring out what to do with Topaz. And then Johnny, I mean, he doesn't change a whole lot. It's more figuring out more and more about him, and let's just say there's still more to say about him. There's still more stuff that we have left to find out about Johnny and Ruby on home.
Can't very well take your plasmas away now, can he?
Says, sure thing, Mr. Fontaine. I'll hold you a spot. Ryan promised Fontaine was dust, and now here you are doing his dirty. I guess that makes Ryan a bum, and you... He was ours! Ours!
Dang. Oh, yeah, that was pretty intense. Give trick yes. For the actual Ruby characters, how do you decide on how to go about them in Ruby on Generations? A lot of it was where did I leave them off in Ruby on Veil and Ruby on War. Ooh. Like, I wanted them to be kind of like legends that other characters look up to. And a lot of it was kind of left up to my bias, as people pointed out. I really don't like Blake, so I gave her, like, I made her, like, the worst parent out of the bunch. Game was pretty easy. Like, I definitely wanted Ruby and Jean to have kids, and so it was really easy to decide that Yang should be like the crow of the group, like the cool aunt who does a lot of training with the kids. I'm just so good at hacking that I never need auto hack tools. Until it gets closer to the end when things get like really intense hacking wise. Alright. Got my weapons back. Lighten this place up. Which weapon should I upgrade first? I want it to be one of these two. I'll go with the kickback reduction.
I know you're fool, but you can get away with this?
Fontaine's putting the screws on us and double. He's squeezing us out of 80 points of our cut with the threat of turning us into Ryan if we don't play ball. Son of a bitch. Sammy G comes and tells me he's thinking of going to the constable. And the next day, Sammy G was found in a sack in a salt pond. We got no choice here. We stay on Fontaine's crew and we're gonna catch the gallows. We take the powder. And we end up like Sammy G. Oh, there's gotta be another way.
You can't quit. Fontaine will find you.
Hey, fuck Fontaine.
You don't fuck Fontaine. Fontaine fucks you.
I don't remember if the ghosts are ever explained. I mean, unless you want to go with Bioshock Infinite, where you're just looking at tears. I've been going for about 2 hours. I'm gonna do this part real quick, and then that'll be a stream. So I'll get to Arcadia Glens. And then, yep. First look at your family. Don't worry, Atlas. Really over heavy-handed reference to Atlas Shrugged.
We all come down here. Figured we'd all be part of Ryan's great chain. Turns out Ryan's chain is made of gold, and ours are the sort with the big iron ball around your ankle. He's up in Fort Frolic banging fashion models. We're down in this dump yanking guts out of fish. Fontaine's promising something better. He's like one of us, you know? Like he's worked a day in his life. He says meet him at his fish packing joint at 11.
He's basically a socialist.
Bring a couple of guys. Hey, it's not like things could get a lot worse.
Hit the switch up there in the control booth and let me
Killer Trick asks, why did you decide to kill Taiyang? Because I needed... It was just too perfect an opportunity to pass up. I needed Levi to kill someone. I needed him to kill someone important. And I needed to be someone that Ruby would feel all the guilt for. Because, I mean, if you think about Ruby on War, Levi doesn't kill a whole lot of people. He beats the snot out of just about everyone, but as far as the actual body count, it's pretty low. Moira! Only way she could be more Irish is if her name was Shearsay. Saoirse. Or Ronan. There we go. Fontaine.
Just like all those chumps they scraped out of them prison.
Yep. His family's dead.
You ooze in like an assassin, and then you try to sneak out like a thief. You're no CIA spook. Who are you? Why have you come here? There's two ways to deal with a mystery. Uncover it, or eliminate it.
Get out! Get out and get to Arcadia! Jesus Christ!
The Irish pork.
Last call for questions. I'm gonna end it here. I'd love to play more, but going on 2.5 hours. I'll stream this again. Like, I'll probably not play this unless I stream it. Just because I'm so familiar with it, and I've played it so many times, and it holds up so well. It is so good. Such a good game. Still my favorite game of all time. Yeah, last call for questions before I cut the stream. Another thing, I wanted this to be kind of like a 250 subscriber thing because I'm so close to 250 subscribers. I'm at 249 right now, but this is the last. I'm not going to be able to stream again until I might be able to stream Thursday.
Ain't that just like Ryan? Waits until we're almost out, then he pulls the
String.
We'll find the bastard. We'll find him and we'll tear his heart out.
I came to this place to build the impossible. You came to rob what you could never build. A hub gaping at the gates of Rome. Even the air you breathe is sponged from my account. Well, breathe deep. So later you might remember...
Acadia Glens, which is where I kind of got the name for the character Acacia Glens.
To the bathysphere in the rolling hills. That'll take you straight to the devil himself. And then all debts will be paid in full.
Paid in blood. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, guys. Thank you all for watching me indulge myself with what is, in my opinion, one of the greatest games of all time. Yeah, until next time. Again, like, I'll probably only play Bioshock when I'm streaming it. And I'll probably do the same for Bioshock 2 when I finally get that, and maybe I'll even do a Bioshock Infinite stream. Till then, watching.